All right, let's jump right in. We're going to walk through the key trends that are really shaping drug discovery in 2025. This is all based on the State of Play white paper, and our goal here is to give you the insights you need to navigate what's coming next.
If you've been in the biotech trenches for the last couple of years, this quote is really going to hit home. The crazy market corrections might be in the rearview mirror, but we are not going back to the way things were. The whole industry has shifted gears into a new, much more demanding phase.
We're calling this whole period the Great Recalibration. And look, this isn't just another dip in the market cycle. It's a fundamental change in the entire operating system of biotech. It's all about a kind of disciplined resilience now. Every single dollar, every hire, every experiment has to be laser-focused on one thing: generating assets that are validated and ready for the clinic. So let's break down what that actually looks like.
So what does this whole recalibration thing mean for funding? Well, the best way to describe it is selective abundance. Yeah, the money is definitely back, but it's a lot smarter, it's way more cautious, and it knows exactly what it's looking for.
I mean, just look at this number. After what felt like a very long biotech winter, venture funding just surged by a staggering 70.9% in the third quarter of 2025. This is a huge signal that investor confidence is back, and it's being fueled by a couple of things. Interest rates are easing up, and the M&A market is hot, which gives investors a clear path to an exit.
But whatever you do, don't mistake this for easy money. The price of that capital is steep. You can see it right here. Valuations are up, but so are the expectations. Investors are writing these massive checks, sure, but they are paying for clinical progress and a validated mechanism of action. They're not just funding a promising slide deck anymore. Those days are over. And all of this has basically created a two-tiered ecosystem, a world of the haves and the have-nots. If you've got a de-risked asset in a hot area, investors are practically lining up at your door. But if you're working on an early-stage platform technology without a really clear path to an IND or an investigational new drug application, well, let's just say securing that Series A is tougher than it has ever been.
Now, this selective mindset isn't just about money. It's also completely reshaping the workforce, and it's creating this weird paradox where companies are laying people off and hiring like crazy all at the same time.
If it felt like the layoff announcements just never stopped this year, well, you weren't imagining things. The number of layoff rounds actually accelerated, with a projected 31% jump compared to last year. The industry isn't just trimming a little fat here, it's going through a fundamental restructuring.
And this churn isn't random at all. It's being driven by three key strategic pressures. First, companies are just ruthlessly cutting their pipelines to focus only on assets with the highest chance of success. Second, the boom in M&A creates a lot of overlapping roles. And third, Big Pharma is trying to get lean and mean to prepare for that massive patent cliff that's right around the corner.
So here's the crucial point. This is really a realignment. While a lot of generalist and some early discovery roles are being cut, companies are desperately and very aggressively hiring for highly specialized talent. They are literally trading their general administrative capacity for computational biologists, for AI engineers, and for translational scientists, the people who can actually bridge that gap from the computer models, the in silico work, to real wet lab validation.
And you know what one of the biggest drivers of that talent shift is? It's the clinical validation of artificial intelligence. Seriously, in 2025, AI is no longer just a buzzword. It is delivering real, tangible results in the clinic.
I mean, take Generate Biomedicines. This was a truly historic milestone. Moving an antibody from a pure computational design all the way to a global phase 3 trial in just 4 years, that's unheard of. It basically cut the traditional development timeline for a complex biologic in half, and in doing so, it validated the entire thesis of generative biology. And then you have in silico medicine, which just brilliantly shows the power of this technology. Their positive phase 2 data is arguably the first real proof of concept for an end-to-end AI platform. And get this, the AI didn't just design the molecule. Their Panda-Omics platform is what identified the novel biological target in the first place.
And it's not just the startups either. Look at what big players like Pfizer are doing. They're using a closed-loop system that bounces back and forth between Vala's computational platform and Charles River's wet labs. They've turned the discovery cycle for a validated candidate into a matter of weeks, not years. It's just incredible speed.
Okay, so you've got these powerful new tools, you've got selective capital, and a totally reshuffled workforce. So what's the long-term strategic endgame here? Well, it all boils down to two massive, colliding forces: an unprecedented patent cliff and the M&A boom that's designed to survive it.
$350 billion. That's the sheer amount of revenue at risk between now and 2029. This is, without a doubt, the single biggest driver of corporate strategy in big pharma today. It is forcing a desperate, urgent search for new sources of growth.
And look, this isn't some distant threat looming on the horizon. It's happening right now. This cliff affects nearly every major company. We're talking about absolute titans of the industry, like the anticoagulant Eliquis and the cancer blockbuster Keytruda, facing generic competition in just the next few years.
So what's the industry's response? Open the checkbook. M&A deal values surged 31% year over year. And this isn't just about consolidation. This is Big Pharma explicitly buying its next generation of revenue. They are trying to fill the massive gaps that are about to be left by these expiring patents.
So what's the big takeaway from all this? The Great Recalibration has put this immense pressure on the entire industry to deliver results. The focus has shifted away from pure exploration and squarely onto rigorous, data-driven validation. And that leaves every single scientist and leader in this field with a really critical question. Is your science built for validation, or is it just built for exploration? Because in this new era, the future of biotech really depends on that answer.